everybody, and welcome to another episode of That Podcast. Enjoy the show.
What else we can talk about today?
Well, we got a couple things. I want to point out one thing, and I'm really proud of myself because Sarah over here has the elixir of the gods over here, Diet Coke.
I will say it's less tempting. It's in a bottle.
Okay.
It's not as good.
You like it in the big...
You like the taste of metal?
Goes fountain, can, bottle.
McDonald's.
Oh, that's the best
McDonald's
one.
fountain. Yeah, why is that? Everyone tells me
But
that.
you know what?
Is it their ice?
No,
Casey's is close.
That is, McDonald's is the best because they refrigerate their carbonation. Like the CO2 cans.
Yeah,
they
they're
refrigerate
actually
them.
cool.
So that's why it's actually literally crispier than other places.
So that's why the bubbles,
And then,
I had heard that they make their straws a little bit bigger, so you're taking in
more
a bigger gulp, and that
Could you imagine
kicks
like
off.
a boba straw in a McDonald's pop?
they have two straws that are awful.
Are they the?
They don't have the striped ones. They have those clear ones now, and they're cheap.
Oh, they're
Like
cheaper.
Like you chew
Cutting
on them
down.
and it immediately flattens.
Well, I was just going to say that it has been officially, from this point, all of 2025, I have not had any Diet Coke. And this is absolutely the case.
Too?
What's that? I think giving up smoking would have been easier because I every day, multiple times a day, I was like, I want a Diet Coke. I want a Diet Coke until day 24. Yeah. Like, I know exactly when it stopped being something that I'm like, I need this. And so
Day one was
there a
the
patch
sweats.
for that?
Day two was crying. Day four,
DJ
you were in
was
the
just
fetal
in his
position.
Just in his office under his desk.
He's done okay.
one weekend, I was assessing my life choices, going, "What am I doing?"
Why would I do this?
But instead, now I'm
Day 15, my family felt safe coming home again.
Well, me and Melissa, me and my wife both.
His
gave
kids
it up
finally
together.
gave him a hug.
Exactly. Melissa gave it up with me. If she didn't, then I think I'd be drinking Diet Coke right now.
You know, I think if like Austin ever said, "Yeah, I'm gonna give up," he drinks Coke. He also though like goes in waves. But if he ever was like, "I'm gonna give up drinking pop," you should give up Diet Coke too. I would say it's been nice to see.
Yeah, right.
I'll make that decision on my own.
You know, this is a good run. I'm gonna go my way. You go your way.
Yep.
No harm, no foul.
Yeah.
Love
I
you.
think
See you
this
later.
is just it. We've drifted apart. We're going on
We're different
paths.
people now.
It's just
Don't tell me what to do. But that's good that you guys could do it together.
Did you find that while you were both in withdrawal that you had any arguments or
We just kind of kept
were
our
you hard
distance
to
from
live
each
with?
other.
I think so.
Yeah. You know, actually, it was kind of helpful because I was really sick around Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
And so I didn't like anything.
We all were. That was. I didn't. I had no appetite when I had that disease.
Yep. Whatever the ick was that was going around.
everybody on
time.
Christmas was just high on Dayquil.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, NyQuil.
Mm-hmm.
Dayquil and NyQuil.
I was already home in bed, so
I was
didn't
like,
have to
Becky
come
just
to
wasn't
church.
here.
Well, you beat me to it. Otherwise,
I
I'd
beat
you know.
you to it. We'd have been in trouble if you had gone there first. We wouldn't have made it. We wouldn't have had Christmas.
Well, we went as a family. We went to
That was a really
Montana.
fast Christmas service, though, I will say.
Well, we got through it quick. Yeah. Before passing out.
So yeah, wait, were you sick in Montana?
I was sick in Montana,
right.
so it was Dayquil in the morning and it was NyQuil in the evening, and I would come back and basically I'm like, I need a sauna or like a hot tub. So I would sit in a hot tub and just do that in the evening, then go to sleep like 10 hours, then we go up on the mountain and just, you know, do the mountain stuff. I didn't want any Diet Coke. It was gross to me. Like water, I think I had a Gatorade one day and that was kind of it. Because everything else just tasted so bad.
Yeah. Have you
So-
had it, Sarah?
Mm-mm.
The ick? Good. Don't
No.
get it.
I had a
Most
real bad.
everybody on our staff. Well, not you.
Yeah.
You just.
Well, I was already off when I got it.
Oh, okay. There you
Oh
go.
yeah,
That's
because
right. You were sick on your vacation.
I took 2 days off, and then I was literally like, I'm not coming in because I'm.
yes, I remember that because you got that right
It was
after I
right
had my
after-
like stomach flu thing.
Yeah, and it was right after FMSC that I was.
Is that going to mess with the sound?
What is? The fan?
Yeah.
No.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. It's,
The registers are on.
Okay, never
The
mind.
heat's on.
yeah. So, I mean, it was a
It would be
good
shame
jump
if
start.
anything interrupted this wonderful conversation.
But even the first week into January, I still wasn't feeling myself anymore. So all I really wanted was water and like chicken noodle soup, like something really just no flavor, nothing.
Obviously, everyone can still hear my cough every couple minutes.
Mine stayed on too. Like it's
I
just
was like, Amy had her cough forever. Lisa still has her cough. Yeah.
it's
just
a
a
nasty
plague.
strain, or it's just one after another after another.
I
That
think it's influenza
yeah.
because two of the guys tested for it, and we all got sick at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully everyone's coming out of it now at this
Yeah.
point. And hopefully you don't get anything.
No,
I think it
mine
should be
was
good,
right
'cause
after.
it was right around FMSC time.
I was
that
like,
everybody
you were
was.
sick during FMSC, and I caught
No.
it right at the end of FMSC.
Yeah.
Because then I took 2 days right after FMSC.
Mhm.
And I was like, Friday, I was like, yeah, I don't feel great. It'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sunday, I was like, I'm dying. Good thing I have 2 days off. And then Wednesday, I was supposed to come back, and I was like, I ain't coming back.
Well, it's been a while since we've podcasted together. Like it was last year, I think it was the last time we podcasted.
Really?
Well,
Yeah.
Oh my!
Literally,
So-
we could not get
And
it.
people are going to come back and hear this.
Yes,
Yeah.
you're gonna hear this.
Yeah.
But since the last time we podcasted, because we do a couple at a shot.
And then we go like silent.
Yeah.
And then there are no episodes. And then I just drop 3 in a row and then just, nah.
Well, and so we had FMSC here, and
That
We
was
did.
so fun.
it was really cool to see. We downscaled this time from what we've done
From 10
last
million?
year.
Yeah.
Yeah, so last year we had 10 million
1/10.
in the Fargo Dome, but this year we kind of came back to our roots and came back to Atonement. And they said it was 11 years, but really if you look at the thing, it's actually 10 years. We did 20 million meals in the span of 10 years. I know there was a planning time in that first pack, but it was 11 packs over 10-year time.
10 packs.
It was 11
This
packs.
was our
COVID
11th.
year.
This was our
Well,
11th.
COVID,
Oh,
we
yeah,
didn't
had
pack.
COVID year.
That was
Oh, that's right. So it was 10 packs, 20 million meals in 10 packs. And getting to celebrate that was just my favorite thing in, what was that, day 2 or day 3? We packed for a
Day
week.
2.
Like,
They-
no,
It was
It
Saturday.
was Saturday. So, and we started packing on what, Wednesday?
yeah.
Well,
So
when-
4 days? Day 4?
It was before.
It was something like
Saturday.
that.
It
I
was
was
Saturday.
here Saturday.
Saturday
Yeah.
morning.
It was Saturday morning.
Well, even comparing to the Fargo Dome was great, but the Fargo Dome was too big, really, for what we were doing, because it would have been amazing if there was like a huge crowd of 20,000 people that were a part of that that 10 million goal that we were aiming for. Well, here we're in a much smaller venue, a tenth of the size, but it was packed when we hit the 20 million and when we hit our million goal in both cases. Every time, every shift was packed, and there was just a different kind of energy that was a lot of fun. And I don't know,
I really liked it being back here when we hit the 20 million because it was really cool talking to our getting to send out that we hit the 20 million and getting to talk to the different like media partners and stuff. One of the reporters who interviewed, he's like, man, that's really cool. I hadn't registered or thought about it. He's like, so you guys packed your very first meal there, you packed your 250,000th meal there, and you hit 20 million meals in the exact same place. Like, yeah, that's
Yeah.
really awesome to
Yeah.
see that, like, basically out these doors have come the same
Yeah.
yeah.
meals, same mission, same hope, and yeah.
Well,
That was
and
pretty neat.
the number that really got me was that it was 20 million meals is over 50,000 kids fed
For a year.
for a year, not just like one meal, but 50,000 kids all year long. And if you think about it, folks around here know Fargo Moorhead and the size of it. It's big for around here, but it's not big for other parts of the country. And so there's the Fargo Moorhead metro area is around 200,000 people. But if you think about the different parts of it, 50,000 kids is bigger than Moorhead, which is the second part of the Fargo Moorhead, or the first part, however you look at it. 50,000 is bigger than West Fargo, the fastest growing part of Fargo Moorhead.
North Dakota.
It's like 5 times, 10 times bigger than Horace. The town I grew up in was only 1,000 people. It's 50 times the size of the town that I grew up in North Dakota. And so I just think it's really cool, and that maybe in another 10 years we'll be able to say, like, 200,000 kids were fed, and that's the entire, and that number really resonated with me too. That it's bigger than like.
Think about the kids we started with. I mean the kids that started to eat it. Maybe some of them are adults now and they grew into adulthood and lived into adulthood and probably have a better life, got a better education. It's real exciting.
Right. And we see some of the videos of those kids that come back and say, keep packing, you're making a difference. And
Or we've had kids here who are immigrants who say, I ate that food.
Yes.
That's really cool.
So we got to be a part of that. So we all got really sick and then
Because we not only were sick, but then we just breathed in soy dust for
yes.
5 days, 6
5 days, 8 days, 7 days. I don't know.
Everyone was healthy before we packed, though. Like
Yes.
everyone wasn't like. So there was a bit of a respite of getting better.
We got just good enough to be better, and then
I actually only packed.
Well, and you were
The
smart
last pack,
too.
I stayed out of the gym because I was still.
This is the first year I didn't get to pack a single shift.
No.
Yeah.
And this is the time I packed like so much.
Yeah.
Which I usually maybe pack one shift during
You
FMSC, and I
made
packed.
the A
Yeah.
team this year.
I think we packed like 4 times, man. It was a lot.
There's a couple that just are packing machines, and they choose who they want to pack with, and Dana made the cut this time around.
Do you know
so.
who I would equate them to? Like the Monument Men. Have you seen that movie?
No.
Oh, it's
George Clooney.
George Clooney, Matt Damon. It's basically this like special group. I think
It was the British Army
and
and
the
I think the
U.S.
US
Army.
put it together a special ops team to go in during World War II to like try to save
Like art.
from the Nazis.
Yeah.
Before the Nazis got to it and destroyed it.
I want to see that.
It's
Yeah.
on Netflix. It's a great movie, and it's
I'll have to watch that.
serious but also funny. It's
Yeah.
a great balance. But yeah, that's like that packing team.
That like specifically
get the job done.
designed team. Well, also it just
But
feels
they have
that way
fun doing it.
because me and Amy will flip where the vitamins and
The
the
rice
soy
and soya.
right, like we will flip them based on like how they were actually set up, and so it just felt very weird of like people getting confused, like why are they
What side do I
backwards?
got
And
you?
it's like because they let us be special. Like,
Well, and I will say too that of course your guys' table could be special depending on like the world champs, like the fastest
Oh, yeah.
packers. Like I haven't said their name yet, but I mean they're the ones who I heard that they before they went down and packed at one of the primary sites. Can I say their name? Is that going to be a problem?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, anyway, it was Marines. Marines were like the
had
top.
packed the most boxes in a single shift.
D&D.
Right.
D&D.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
D&D.
feel like, am I on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
so the world champs are at Atonement.
Yeah.
And so I think it's cool. They're like, oh, we'll retrofit.
Well, that's the
table.
other thing is that like we skip orientation
Mhm.
and we'll like be early and like you gotta like she will find someone to fill in until you're there because we're packing. And can I tell you the funniest thing? Like it killed me. I like died, but it was the last night and Lisa was like, oh, we were talking about like racing. And I was like, Lisa, are we gonna race? And then at the end of it, Lisa's like, yeah, but you guys like got to start like early. And Dee just goes, that seems like a you problem. Like it's not my fault that you weren't in here. And I was like,
Oh. I also
Like,
don't
just-
think you don't realize the speed at which they're going until I was videoing their station because it's easy. They all know me, so I can be up in their personal bubbles,
Yeah.
and they're packing at a speed that I could slow them down slightly, and it's okay.
yeah.
But then you go to other stations in video, and I was watching the recording, and I'm like, did I move to slow motion?
Right.
When am I? I'm like, oh no, that other station that I was just standing at for so long is moving so quick that when I'm looking at a normal paced table,
Yeah.
Yeah.
they look like they're moving in slow motion.
Yeah.
I thought it was a bit of hype last year until I had to run the resources and I could not keep up. And I was only running about 20 feet to
The
get
mega
the
packers?
soy
You talking
and the
about
ri-
mega packers.
yes,
Yeah.
the soy and the rice.
And they're not kids.
Oh
No.
yeah, DJ, if it makes you feel any better, last year I had to have the conversation with two 16-year-old girls who were packing with the mega packers that they were like, oh, my back kind of hurts, I'm kind of tired. And I very lovingly told them, you are about 50 to 60 years younger than a majority of people at this table, they do not care. You need to keep up with them or you got to get off.
That's right. You play hurt.
Yep.
Yeah.
Unless you're injured.
Unless I'm
Then you need to
seeing
go.
blood or bone,
Yeah.
you're doing just fine.
Yep. Well, that was the other thing of just like running it, and then Carter was running for like he wasn't doing warehouse because I think his friends were here or his roommates, so that's why he wanted to run. And it was very much of like, okay, well, listen to what your mom says. You stay right here.
Yeah.
Like you don't get to do something else.
Right.
You just run. Literally, I could turn around and grab them myself, but that's your job.
Yes.
Like, I don't. We do not break the flow.
No. They're, Anyway, it's very
always
impressive.
a good time.
It
Very
is. It's
impressive.
very fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's to the point where I have
we had
like
a young man here. It was his first time helping kind of run it. Tony, was it?
Yeah,
yeah,
Tony.
Tony.
And he'd been with Feed My Starving Children.
I
for a
think
couple
yeah
years. He
no,
missed last year here. He wasn't here.
I think he started right after
Oh, did he?
we packed our 10 million.
So I said, "How many have you done?" Like they go, "This is the biggest one I've ever done."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we'll help you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and we love them. It's so much fun
They're
when
so
when the
great.
FMSC group, because they come from all over too.
All over the country.
This is the one time that we didn't have like a really like different area.
No, we had Texas and Minnesota.
Yep.
That's
One
And
from
who's
Tex-
the lady with the Brit accent?
Oh, Carrie.
But
But
lives
she's
in
fr-
Minnesota.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But from
But
England.
she's not
Originally from-
originally
No.
from Minnesota.
No.
I can't remember. One of them was from Texas. She was from Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
Caitlin. And so we didn't have any snow. And usually FMSC, we just get bombarded with
Yes.
snow.
It's like bitter cold and it
Yes.
never stops snowing.
But day 4 or day 5, I can't remember which day it was. Oh, it was as the weekend was coming. It snowed. So she was out taking pictures of snow and sent it back to her friend. And she's like, look at all the snow. And he's like, yeah, I'm in the same place you are. She's like, what? He goes, and he takes pictures outside his window in Dallas, and it's snowing there too.
There was
In
more there
Dallas.
than there was
Yes.
here.
Yeah.
And she was like, no, I'm in Fargo, North Dakota. And it was just that time that we got snow, but then so did all the rest of the country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
There was snow on Florida beaches.
they got to
Yeah.
experience what packing is like.
But that always just seems like the strangest thing for like FMSC staff of like, do you just treat Fargo like trial by fire of like, you knew you're going to Fargo in the middle
Right.
of February. Have
We're gonna
fun.
train you
Buy
up.
The
some
dead of winter.
gloves.
They love it. They want to come back.
They always want, and they're like, we love coming. I'm like, why? Because like if I could pick between Florida and here, I'm going to Florida.
I think it's that challenge, like
Yeah.
to be able to brag later in your life. I was in Fargo, North Dakota, in winter, in January,
Well-
packing millions of meals for kids.
And I selfishly have to kind of think too that we have a really awesome like Fargo team.
Yeah.
And like the team from Atonement and First Lutheran that like help pull it all together and everything like that. That
Yeah.
I can't imagine anywhere else in the world or in the U.S. is like that for organizing
I
their
don't think so
packs.
either.
So,
Probably not. But it is
that
just
probably
a,
also helps.
I think it is, and I
Make
think
you
it's
wanna
just like we've done it enough time that they like FMSC trusts
Yeah.
us to know
Yeah.
that we know what we're doing.
It's a very unique thing, and it's very on brand for North Dakota.
Oh yeah.
In winter, Fargo nice, packing food
It
for
was
the rest of
last
the
year
world.
when we had the blizzard,
Yes.
and they thought we should close it down.
Yeah.
And we had more people show up
Yep.
because they had nothing else to do.
Yeah.
Because
Oh, it's a
Everything.
blizzard. We're not going to work.
well,
Let's
also
go
because
pack food.
technically
Let's go
the
to the
Fargo
dome.
Dome was a storm shelter, so
Yep.
people would be coming anyway.
Going to the dome, gonna pack some food.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, it was a great time.
Yeah.
Absolutely great time.
I just like that there was heat.
Yeah.
I appreciate heat.
And no giant door open and ice on the ground underneath of us.
Yep.
Thanks for joining us for this episode of That Podcast. Don't forget that you can find us every Sunday morning at 9 and 10:30, either here at Atonement, 4601 South University Drive in Fargo, or online at atonement.live or atonementfargo.org. We also have a YouTube channel where you can find our services live or a wide variety of resources. Again, that's YouTube, atonement.live or atonementfargo.org. So for all of us here at Atonement, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time for another riveting episode of That Podcast.